This figure was provided by Bluefin Tamashii and is available at Amazon.com. And it's me, Mario! Because yeah, this is s.h.figuarts Mario, because D-Arts is dead. Recently released. He's a very nice little figure. He is very compact for an s.h.figuarts. He's not the usual 6-inch scale. He's actually about 4.5 inches tall, for size comparison with a regular 6-inch figure here. Thanks to Aaron Eckhart. Now you can see he's definitely trying to be the short little brother, as he is in the games. And let's just look at him. There's not a whole lot to him that he comes with, so let's just look at the figure himself and his articulation. The head looks very nice. That is the nice likeness of the late Bob Hoskins. He's got a happy smile on his face there. As far as his articulation goes, he's pretty good at the neck. His one head with one expression that he comes with can move left or right. Although I find that when you're moving it left and right, and also up and down a little bit, you're kind of like pulling it off the joint a little bit. Now, this is a very nice, big, meaty connection, so it will stay on there even as you're forcing it off the joint a little bit. And also, it's hard to see, but there's actually a little hinge in there as well. Just stick that back on. His arms are pretty good. They just got little, I think it's like a Figma style joint, or it's a ball joint or something like that. His elbows definitely have a little Figma style joint in there. They don't actually move left or right. Everything is just kind of basic swivels and hinges. Hips are pretty good. He can splay in and out, get his feet all together when he wants to do like his drop kick in the like in Super Smash Brothers. The hips, there's no waist joint, but the hips are really nice because you can see this area here. It's actually just a big joint right there, so it actually preserves the sculpt pretty well as you're moving his legs around. And he's very expressive. He looks like every pose he's in, he looks like Mario from the games. His ankles have his little double ball joint in there, and you know, you can get him posing. And you know, whatever pose you put him in, he just looks so much like he does in every single Mario game. So yeah, Mario himself is kind of a basic package. Stay right there. All you get with him is the iconic question block, which has a little key hole on the other side. We'll get to that in a bit. So you get that. You get 1 gold coin, and if you want to collect all 100. You'll be $2,000 in toy debt. You might get an extra life too. But yeah, very shiny gold coin, and it has a little clear display stand so you can stick it on stuff. It looks pretty cool. And lastly, you get Super Mushroom. It's adorable. That's what it looks like. That's a Super Mushroom, all right. Looks great. It's a very solid little piece, and you can stick it next to Mario. Alright, so this is Mario. This is what you get with just Mario. I'm going to take a little cut, and we are going to look at some of the other stuff you can buy for him. Alright, so here's everything you get with Diorama Playset A. It's a whole bunch of crap that some of it's repeats from Mario himself, particularly just this question block here. And you get another coin, which comes with both the short little stand and the longer stand, so you can basically stick it up on the block, and hey, it looks like the coin's coming out of the block. And you get a couple of the regular brick blocks, and they look very nice again, very authentic. And the best part, little mean Goomba. It's a good Goomba. Yeah, that's a good face, good expression there. Probably the biggest part of all this is you get a Tamashii stage with this long pole, which comes with. It's a block holder essentially, and this part of the top comes off. So if you want, you can just stick one of these, remember to line up the little keyed hole in here, and you can get single block up on here. Or if you want to start arranging things more like in the games, you can just put that on there. Remember to orient it with the way these little pegs are keyed in there. And you can get more complex displays, you know, stick Goomba there and stick the, we'll get to this in a bit. And then you stick Mario right there, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Here you go. You can kick these guys around, you can get coins, you can get blocks, and it's all, again, a lot like the games. And yeah, pretty cool. There's more you can do with the stand, and I will show you that after a little cut. Alright, so we have our little Tamashii stage. You know, this is the basic setup with the articulated arm up here. And you want to put Mario on this so he can do some jumping. Very simple. All you do is you lift up this panel on his back here, and you saw it before that you get a different panel which just pegs in. It's got 3 little pegs, just fits into his back, very snug and secure. And stick Mario in there. There you go. You got Mario. He's up on a stand. You can give him the classic jumping pose. Obviously you want to do other things like Super Smash Brothers moves, you know. Pretty easy like that. Again, pretty stable. You will remain in the air as long as you want. And the cool thing about the Tamashii stage is that it comes with multiple places to stick the display arm. So you just pull out one of the tiny fill-ins at the base, stick the display arm here, get Mario in a nice pose, bring back the whole block assembly, and here you go. You can have him permanently in a display where he's up hitting the blocks just like in the game, and that's really cool. Definitely cool. And then you just stick the Goomba back in there for flavor. So yeah, set A is pretty nice. It's feels like it's there to complete Mario as a kind of a package. Not that the basic just Mario with a couple of blocks and coins isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. It's a very nice, like, streamlined Mario setup. And this just kind of gives you more stuff to do. Although you don't really need Mario to enjoy all this stuff. It's actually pretty good on its own. And we'll see a bit more of that with the second diorama set. Alright, and this is the Diorama Playset B. And again, you know, Mario doesn't come with any of this stuff, but so what you get is another coin. You get the 2 clear stands for holding the coin up, Koopa shell, you get a pair of splayed hands, these tiny little pegs, and we'll get to those, another Goomba, and of course the main event, a pair of big pipes. So let's move some of the stuff out of the way and focus on the pipes for a little bit. Alright, because what's a plumber without pipes? So anyway, you got 2 pipes. And as you saw before, you can stick Mario in this little smaller pipe, or you can actually have him up on the big pipe. Again, kind of like in the video games, just like in the video games, obviously. And the cool thing about these pipes is this big one here is hollow. So if you wanted to stick all the extra crap in here, it's a nice handy display, or a nice handy storage place. And with the little pipe, little half pipe, quarter pipe, what you do is you can just stick this, just line up the little tabs in there, stick that in there, and now Mario looks like he's coming out of the pipe, or going into it. I think it would be cool if there was like a little plunger you could raise him up and down with, but haha, plunger. Yeah, it's just like this, so it's pretty cool though. The pipes are definitely like the best accessory if you just want something Mario themed. Maybe you don't actually have Mario, or you don't really want to get him. Because what you can do, you can be like, hey look, Aaron Eckhart failed to come to the Mushroom Kingdom. But yeah, there we go. There's Aaron Eckhart. That's funny, let's leave that in. But yeah, this is definitely, like, of the sets, like the coolest by itself. And let's take a short break and look at the other things it comes with. Alright, so we have Mario, we have the shell, we got a pair of open hands. Now, how do we want to get all this stuff to work together? Well, these tiny little pegs are what's going to help us there. So, we've got the Koopa shell. It's a pretty good looking Koopa shell. You know, very authentic. So, we want to get this into Mario's hands. And you could try to get him to just hold this normally, but it's not going to work too well. So what you do is you actually take these tiny little clear pegs, and you take the long end first, and that's going to actually go in here. And we're just going to deal with the bent pegs first. Again, long end goes into the shell itself. Alright, so it's like this, and then you can see these hands have a little slot on them, and you just kind of put them in there. Now you can figure out the best way to actually get all this together, because again, the end result is you're going to want to put these hands on Mario, and we can just kind of look here. This is how his wrists attach. It's just a little kind of a mushroom peg there. And you just stick this on here. It's actually angled slightly, the wrist socket. That's just so he can get a better grip on it there. Actually, I'm going to take this off before we connect it. So just kind of get that in there, and then just line up this, and there we go. Mario is carrying the shell, although it looks like it's kind of floating a little bit, but you know, video games. But yeah, he's got the shell, and it's pretty authentic, and he can carry it, and you can just, you know, line up a Koopa and just smack him with it. So one of the weird things about this is, again, this is actually pretty streamlined as far as s.h.figuarts go, not really too OCD as far as like you want the perfect canonical Mario details. But one thing that is weird and is kind of excessive for this kind of figure is those other pegs. And what those other pegs are for is you just kind of insert them long end first into the Koopa shell, but you're putting them in a different location entirely. And the reason for that is this lets Mario carry the Koopa shell in a different way, with the little neck hole facing off to the side. And really don't remember him ever doing this. Maybe he does that in some of the games, or maybe in some of the artwork. But yeah, you can totally have Mario carrying a shell like this instead of the other way. And it's cool that they let you do that, but just kind of weird that out of all the things they wanted extra detail on, it was how he carries the shell. So yeah, you can do either way, and he will still hold that shell. Alright, so I'm going to gather all this stuff together and close out this video. Alright, so of course the real fun is when you start like getting all of these sets, or multiple versions of these sets, and just kind of start piling things together, making your own Mario themed dioramas. Mario by himself, he's about $24, but you can get him at like for 20 bucks on Amazon.com. He's kind of a lean package by himself, but he's a great figure, and he's priced more for American shelves than he is for Japanese shelves. I mean, 20 bucks, you know, that's like a NECA action figure price, and he's much better than any NECA action figure. He's great, he feels great, he poses great. He's not the most dynamic figure, but he's Mario. This really looks like Mario, and it feels like Mario. And he's awesome even just by himself. When you start adding the diorama sets, everything gets better. But again, I don't think you necessarily need Mario to enjoy these diorama sets, because you can listen as Mario falls over. Because again, hey, you could totally just have like Aaron Eckhart coming in here and having some fun, hitting blocks with his head, and you know, failing to save the princess, because the princess is Rachel. But yeah, as far as these sets go, I actually kind of like the pipe set more, because it's just more iconic, like Mario to me. I mean, all the blocks are cool, but hey, you know, with the pipe set you get the Koopa shell, and you still get a Goomba with it. So this stuff is good because it gives you like a Tamashii stage, and also more blocks to play around with. I don't have any of the recent like Mario collection figures to compare this to, but if you're like me and you still have your old McDonald's promotional Happy Meal toys, yeah, they fit pretty well in all this modern Mario stuff too. So yeah, there's my this thing's from 1990. It's kind of old. Para Koopa. So yeah. looks pretty good. There's better, newer Paracoopers that you can put along with this stuff, but hey, you know, an older Mario fan, I can appreciate all this stuff together. So yeah, thanks again to Bluefin Tamashii for providing this figure. It was a lot of fun to mess around with. And you can find these on Amazon.com. It's a lot of cool Mario stuff out there now, and it's cool to see him becoming an actual, like, main action figure, because he has never had one before. Unless you count, again, old McDonald's toys. So anyway, this has been Andrew over CollectionDX.com, signing off.